Da, da, theme song, theme song. Da, da, da.
Welcome back to A Thousand Eyes in One. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Nikki. Welcome back.
Tonight we are talking about The Wheel of Time, Season 1, Episode 6, The Flame of Valon. But before we get into it, make sure to follow us on all the socials. Twitter, Thousand Eyes One, Facebook and Instagram, A Thousand Eyes in One, and here on YouTube. All our links will be posted in show notes.
Yep. Be sure to check them out. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, all that. Shout out to the people who've been engaging with us in the comments on YouTube. It's been really fun to talk with you.
Yes. And if you want to really go back and forth, definitely follow on Twitter. That's where I spend most of my time.
Mm-hmm.
So, this episode, The Flame of Valon, what are your first thoughts, Nikki? Oh, actually, before we talk about this episode, one thing we didn't notice last week, or at least didn't mention, I didn't notice, I think Nikki noticed and didn't mention, was Pat and Fane. And I rewatched today to look for him and was like, so he was sitting right there. How did I miss that?
Yeah. Just taking everything in and being like, whoop, and then dipping out.
Yeah, that laugh. And we see him twice.
Mm-hmm.
First, it's like from behind, you hear him whistling.
Yeah.
And then the second time when he's sitting in that doorway and just kind of laughs and walks away.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any theories. I don't know what to think of that. But I'm like, this guy gets around. Okay. So he's making good time.
I remember what's going on with Pat and Fane. So I'm not going to say anything. I won't deny or confirm any speculation you come up with. I will leave that to you.
Awesome. Well, I'm reserving the right to not have any speculations today.
Okay.
Maybe I'll rewatch and end.
We meet the Amerlin seat as a child.
An adorable child.
Child who can channel.
Oh my God, that was so fun. I was like looking at it, like she wakes up and she's so cute and she's like, hey, daddy, we're going to go catch some fish. And he was like, yeah, come on, let's do it. And then, you see him struggling to tie the knot. And anybody who knows anything about fishing knows that the knots are essential. And because the camera does a very slow tilt down to give you that reveal that he's missing a hand. And then suddenly you look behind him and she's doing a little bit of weaving and is apparently very good at it. So that was really fun. But he warned her, that it's not safe for her to be doing that in public. And I guess he had made her promise only to do it when it was the two of them and when there was nobody else around, which, you can't guarantee when you're on the water who's seeing you from which angle. So, I thought it was a little reckless on her behalf, but she's a kid. What are we going to do?
She's a kid. Kids don't really know any better.
Yeah. I have it in my notes. Someone snitched.
So yeah, their house is burned down and the symbol of the dragon fang on the door.
Yep.
What do you think that means? That it was dark friends or people who think that they're dark friends?
I think it's more, given the limited context that we had of their fishing village, I would say that it's people who are maybe very suspicious of any type of power and connection to the one power. And yes, that they would probably suspect her of being a dark friend, especially if they're trying to keep it under wraps, that she has the ability to channel. But it did make me think about what we were talking about last week and what some people mentioned in the comments about how people who channel the first time, like channel without guidance, can go mad. I think that's what it was.
They get really sick.
They get really sick. The girls get really sick if they channel the first time without a. But so I don't know who was there to help her.
I don't think it's so much if they do it without guidance. I think that it's not that all of them get sick and die without guidance. Mm-hmm. Some of them are able to live.
Yeah.
I think they call them wildings or something like that.
I can't wait to read the book and get more and get a little bit more information about that, because that's something I was paying attention to after it happened. I was like, oh, wait, what did the people in the comments say? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not that every girl dies, it's that a lot of them do, most of them do, but some of them
Mhm.
make it.
Yeah. And clearly she went straight to the top.
Yeah. So they
Oh.
return for their judgment. Um, Not so much a trial since he's already been Logain had already been gentled.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously, well, we know he wanted to die because he begs them to kill him.
Well, because
It,
he talked a lot of shit
I
to provoke them into and
when he said that what did he say, he impaled that green bitch or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
I like gasped.
I was like, I was surprised they're not going to kill him right now.
And then I was like, he's awful confident for someone who's been gentle. But then I was like, I wonder if he's trying to get them to kill him. And then yeah,
mhm.
that's what it
But
is.
it's funny because as he was talking, I was like, well, he's kind of not wrong.
Oh,
Like
right, about the people following
he's
him.
spitting the truth. He's like, listen, the people following me, this is what they think of you. This is how you're perceived outside of here. And I have a whole army behind me. I gathered a whole army of people who think just like me. So deal with that.
And
Uh,
he did take on a whole group of very powerful Aes Sedai.
mm-hmm. On
All of
his
that is
own.
true.
Yeah, all of that is the
So
truth.
she should be worried.
She should absolutely be worried.
I mean, not show it to him, of course, but
No, 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 of course not. But it makes me wonder if there are any other. I mean, if he can't be the only one who's out there that powerful. Um, Hold on, I have a note that I'm trying to read. I can't read it. My handwriting's bad right there. Oh, it says "nuck if you buck." Yeah, he was talking that good shit, trying to get them to kill him right away. And Admiral Seat was like, no, actually, we're going to keep you and study you. And you're going to live out, your life until the madness takes over, which reminds me of the toast in The Princess Bride where at the end he's like, to the pain. I was like, she just hit him with the to the pain. Um, yeah, and then he changes his tune. He's like, kill me, kill me, kill me, please.
right. And then you realize that's what he was hoping for, that he would talk enough
Mm-hmm.
shit to anger her
Yeah.
and she would just kill him on the spot. And
She's like, I see through your games. Nice
mm-hmm.
try. Have a long life. Yeah.
Now, Leandrin.
This bitch.
This bitch.
Don't sue us, Silk Sonic. Oh my God. She was like, the Emerald Estate's like, hey, you know what? This was your responsibility. I'm putting it on you. And she's like, wait. Let me just say. And then she just starts, like telling everybody's business up in the court. And I was like, yo, she's really like stoking the flames and like sowing her propaganda and basically she's like, if I'm going down, we all going down on the ship.
Right. And then also taking that dig at the Amerlin seat,
Mm-hmm.
reminding her that she was once blue and maybe she's not so impartial.
Exactly.
And
Which
I
we
was
come to
just like,
find.
why are you bringing Nynaeve into this? What's the end goal there?
She wants to recruit. I mean, I think she wants to recruit her. I don't know. I think it's just like maybe to cast doubt on the Order of the Blue, which we learn a little bit more about, right? Like their job is to, basically. I'm thinking of a word and I can't remember it, but like an early defense, an early warning system against threats to the land, and she failed that as far as they
Right.
know. So yeah, she's out there just trying to protect her own neck, and it's just she in that moment she reminds me of Cersei because I was like, look at this bitch out here talking shit she doesn't really know about, thinking she's smarter than she is.
I really
Oof.
liked the overhead shots of that room.
The room was so beautiful.
It was.
Oh, oh, I loved it all. I loved it all. And it's just, and you also get to see the other Aja in there. They're all seated in their section, and you get to see them all, and that was really fun. And the patterns in the stone on the floor,
The different colors.
oh, it was beautiful.
I like that.
Beautiful.
I like that they wear a color but not a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone kind of
Yeah.
had their own look.
But everybody was dressed up because,
Yeah.
yeah, they were in
And the
court.
woman with the staff was freaking gorgeous.
Yeah. The fold in
She,
that dress.
she
Whew.
was like distractingly gorgeous.
Yeah. 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 Beautiful. Beautiful.
Why, one thing though, Leandrin brings up is why didn't Moraine know about Logain's army and the Trollocs and all that? And that's actually a really good question.
That's an excellent question. Where the fuck have you been? That's what everybody wants to know. And we still don't really know the answer to that. She's like, I've been out and about doing my thing. Just like casually, trying to weasel her way out of answering the question. But I mean, I feel like in that Leandrin is right to want to know. Like, you're the one who's been gone. You're supposed to be our reconnaissance, and we don't have any of this information, and this is what's happening. How did the army get under your nose? How are Trollocs massing in numbers the way that they are without us hearing about it until it's too late?
Right. It's like she's bringing up valid points, but at
Mm.
the same time, it just also seems like she really has it out for Moraine. So
Yes, she does.
she's bringing up the points, but it's not necessarily for the good of the tower, but for something else.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely got her own motivations. And what I liked is that the Amaryllis Seed like calls her back, and she reminds them of the definition of justice and that the
Yeah.
rules exist to protect the people from them
Yeah.
and not the other way around. Like these rules are in place because they're so powerful, and they have to be reminded of that. They're not above the law, as we soon see.
Mm-hmm. So Moraine finds Matt and Rand.
Oh wait, look, can we talk about? I just wanted to just mention Lady Moraine, Miss Noble
Yes,
House.
Lady Moraine Damodred.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I have nothing else to say, but I was like, okay, well, she's a noble woman.
Of course, we
That's why
find
everybody else thinks she's so stuck up, and it makes maybe that maybe that is a little bit of a hint of the chip on her shoulder that Leandrin has against her.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it would make. I mean, we later learned that the Amyrlin seat does not actually hate her. But
Mm-mm.
before we get into that,
Quite the contrary.
quite the contrary. But it would be very believable that Moraine would look down on someone like Swan Sanche
Mm-hmm.
because she's just a one-handed fisherman's daughter,
Right.
and she's a lady. So it would make sense, and it would track that she would look down on her and feel a way about her rising so high, because that's how
Mm-hmm.
that's how a lot of people think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So their acting in the hall was excellent.
Bro, I can't wait to get to that.
So yeah, Moraine finds Matt and Rand.
I have the oak here
Um,
was snitching. I feel like that's like the moral of this episode. Everybody's snitching.
the thing is, Loyal, I feel like he really means well.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
I think he does
I
too.
don't think he was like trying to snitch. I think it was just like she asked him if he's seen them, and he's like, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
I have. Like he has no idea that there's a bunch of intrigue of many layers happening.
Yeah, he's just happy to be there, happy to help.
I feel like he can't lie. I feel like he can
I feel
only.
like he just
He's
wouldn't
just
think
like,
to,
yeah,
because he'd be like, well, why?
exactly. And I love that. That makes me love. I mean, I already declared my love for him last episode, but it makes me. It's endeared me to him even more.
I in that scene where she's sitting there drinking the tea, you see him and Nynaeve in the background walking through,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, so she knows where they are. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Rand annoyed the crap out of me. I get that he wants to protect his friend. He doesn't want him gentled, especially after the story that Tom told him. But
Right.
at the same time, he's sitting there dying, and you pull a sword on the woman who you know can help and who is there to help. And that they're really testing my patience, these two rivers people. They're really, especially Nynaeve, especially Nynaeve.
Yeah, oh
She's
my
got me
god,
pissed.
she got on my nerves this episode for real.
Absolutely, she's pissing me off, and I love the
Ugh,
actress, so it's making me even more mad because I want to love her, but she's
yeah.
driving me up the wall. Um,
Yeah.
What did you think about the scene? Okay, so we're confirmed that Matt's evil dagger is what was making him sick, right?
Yeah, his precious was driving him crazy.
Right. And even while he's sitting there, it still has not occurred to him that his own actions put him in this position. He
Like
thinks he's the dragon.
how?
He thinks he's the dragon.
Do you think that he really thought that he was the dragon, or do you
Yes.
think um that he'd like, I mean, obviously it's the dagger talking through him. Um,
No, I think that he believed he was the dragon and that's why he was getting sick. Because we know that channeling drives you mad
right.
for men. And he knows that, but he doesn't know like what that looks like. He knows that he's been lashing out at people. He knows that he doesn't know if he killed a family or not.
But he hasn't channeled yet.
Right. He hasn't, but
And that's what Rand keeps saying. He's like, you Matt, tell her you haven't channeled. And he's like, oh, the world doesn't need a dragon like me, or whatever he said.
yeah, I think he believed he's the dragon. He didn't consider at all that he should not have stolen a dagger from Shadar Logoth. Like all the way back then, he still
Yeah.
hasn't considered like his own choice got him in this position.
Bro, it's so dumb.
Why didn't he consider the dagger at any point?
Like, it's the one thing that changed. You had it and you were like moody or mopey, like whatever. But then you went like, but before you had it, you were like, you're a little brooding, but you weren't a fucking pain in the ass.
Right.
You weren't dark and potentially a murderer.
Right.
Like, what's changed here? Let's do the process of elimination. How it hasn't struck him that's the thing. But like, I don't know. But maybe I mean, clearly the dagger was warping his mind and clouding his ability to see that. It's like, why would it point to itself as,
Yeah, and she also said that although he was feeding off the evil from the dagger was also feeding off of his own darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some there already in him. Something that, I mean, we've seen him.
But we've seen that, right? Exactly. Steal from his
friends.
people. And put his, yeah, exactly.
So Nynaeve's annoying ass.
Oh wait, should we go to the part where how Moraine performs some fantastic sin eating
that was
and
some
just like draws magic. The darkness out of him? Whew. And I just watching her react to it in the way that she has to like catch her breath out of it afterwards, It's just kind of like, because we've seen that a few times now, like what the darkness looks like and what it looks like when they're drawing it out of people. It's just like how, like, just shows how powerful she is. But then she also says that there's, Matt's stronger than he has any right to be, because that dagger should have consumed him ages ago.
Right.
Okay. Let's take the spoiled brat and talk about her for a second.
So I wrote down, your pride would have killed your friend. And if that does not describe Nynaeve completely, at this point, Nynaeve, ma'am, Trollocs have raided your village. You've seen a fade.
Yep.
You've seen a man who can channel.
Yep.
You've seen that when you left the village, the Trollocs followed. So whatever she said about it being one of you guys is true. Your friends' lives have been saved repeatedly.
Have a little gratitude, bruh.
But it's like, are you just keeping this chip on your shoulder because your wisdom got turned away from the White Tower?
Yeah. At what point do you adjust your worldview based on the facts?
On everything you've seen so far.
Do you think she thinks she's a dragon?
Maybe. I mean, I do think she's afraid, but she's so insolent and just rude.
Yeah, I've had enough of it,
and it gets frustrating because it's like, look, bitch, I'm trying to help you. Like, did you want your friend to die? Because he was gonna die.
Yeah, and you should know better.
Like, you're giving him echinacea and he needs chemo. Yes.
That's like the perfect comparison. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, know your lane, know when you've been outmatched, and know when it's time to ask for help. Because she doesn't, and she is endangering the lives of not only her friends but everybody who's around them. What was
That
this
fan
like?
is
Rand is
loud.
Rand. I'm sorry. What's to keep Rand or Matt from like turning on Rand and then like destroying the whole inn and running amok throughout the city? Not
And you have
much.
to know when to accept that it's something that's out of your wheelhouse, something you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand.
Yep.
You obviously didn't understand how to heal him.
No.
And
No.
that for a fact that Aes Sedai heal. And it didn't even
Mm-hmm.
have to be Moraine. She could have gotten someone from the Yellow Adger to help,
Anybody. She could
like
have gotten
Egwene did.
anybody. It's not like she didn't like. Not that they didn't bring her into like all of the ceremony and like, just like the way that they like
Right.
took her in last episode. You think that she would have established a little bit of trust, or at least been like, "Yo, Land. So just so you know, he's over here in this, and he doesn't look good. I know you're gonna tell Moraine, but like, can we maybe work this out so we don't have to bring him to the White Tower? There was a way, and Moraine was right for calling her out, being like, "Are you a wisdom or what?"
Right. It was necessary.
Yeah, she had to be schooled.
Later on, when she's rude to the Amberland, I just wanted someone to slap her.
Oh God, me too.
I love that Swan was just completely above it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get to that. Um, so then she has her sauna meeting. And we see her spy network in action,
Mm-hmm.
dropping the little flower as a sign or whatever.
Yeah,
That was cool. Her little birds, if
her
you
little
will.
birds. Yes.
um, and I wondered. So she has her sauna meeting, and they tell her she needs to stay. Obviously, that's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
What was her name? Megan.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, and we see her spy network in action. So that was pretty cool. And then we go back to Perrin and Egwene. And when she meets up with Perrin and Egwene, I wondered why she didn't tell them that she had just seen Matt and Rand.
Yeah, I wondered that too. I was like, oh, bitch, now we can't trust you. But then after like watching it mostly again the second time, I was like, oh, you know what? It was probably for their own good. Because who was good? Like, I'm sure they would have wanted to run off and go find them.
Mm,
And they would have compromised her plan. So it's better to let them think, let them meet up the way that they ended up meeting up than to like give them the information and then possibly risk them asking about them
mm.
because Leandrin was clearly, she's like, wait. So who's here? And there, that was the whole thing. I love that scene. But yeah, no, I think it was too big of a risk. I think she was just covering her bases, doing what the blue do.
Her reaction about Perrin's eyes.
Oh, what the fuck does that mean? She's like, it seems like she's heard of this before. It's not her first time like learning about this. So I'm curious as to what he is because, you know, Valdo didn't know what he was. And
Nope.
but Maureen seems to have an awareness of whatever the fuck it is that he is.
She at
So
least knows
I'm
that they shouldn't
curious.
tell anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say anything at all about the books for that part.
Okay.
We'll just see what the show does.
Don't you say anything in the comments either,
Please don't.
because I read them and respond to you. I want to be surprised. Yeah. Wow.
Another thing we learned this episode is that an Aes Sedai can mask her bond with her warder.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why do you think someone would want to do that?
To
Are there
sneak
other Aes
around.
Sedai who can't trust their own warders?
I would fucking hope not, but I imagine that there must be. I mean, maybe for their own protection. Maybe they have. Sometimes they
That's
have to
true.
move it, and they have to move in places where where men are not allowed or welcome. Um, Maybe they know that their warders will keep them from doing certain things, and so they have to do that. Um, it's interesting. It's very fun and interesting to know that that's even a possibility because I didn't think that was. I figured that they'd just be able, be soul connected forever and ever. But clearly, it's got its uses. Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, I guess she didn't want to be. connected when she's seeing her girlfriend.
I
So
just
last
have oh shit in all caps.
so last episode, she had
Yeah.
opened that same picture, that little cabinet with the picture inside, and I
Mm-hmm.
wondered what it was.
Me
And
too.
then nothing happened with it. So I said,
But
all
she
right, I
stand,
moved
but
on.
she was standing there, and Alana was like, "Okay, you have your secrets," and I was
Yeah,
like, "What is?" I was like, "Okay, well, this
right.
little doorway is significant.
And I
I
kept
don't know
trying
what
to
that
look at
means."
it. I kept trying to like look at it, like what is that a picture of? And it's like somebody else looking through a door. And I'm like, I don't get
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, very
Um,
meta.
yeah. So this episode we learn it is a secret portal of some sort,
Mm-hmm.
and that Lan knows all about this. He says, give
Yeah.
her my love. And when he said it, I was like, give who his
What?
love? Like first, my first thought
Yeah.
was naive. So one thing I will say
So
about
you
the
gonna see your
books,
mama? Is she going home?
one thing I will say is I do remember in the books that Moiraine and the Emerald Seat were actually friends. I knew that they were from the same Aja and that
Mm-hmm.
they were like secretly friends. Um, I don't remember them being lovers.
Mm-hmm.
That could be just show. I don't know. Can't remember, but I don't remember that at all. But I did remember that they did have a good relationship and that they were working together to find the dragon. Um, so it wasn't like a total surprise. Uh, but the show kind of had me convinced for a second that she really was in trouble with the with the
Oh, I
Amaranth Seat.
know. And like upon the rewatch, I was like, oh, maybe they played that a little. Maybe they got a little extra with that now that I know better.
Yeah, I know they had me believing it. I thought it was going to be changed for the show or
Yeah.
something, and I was like, "Oh, okay, no, she's mad at her for real." And then you find out, no, 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 they are working together. So they've been
Yeah.
working together for a long time
Mm-hmm.
because they were the ones who were there when the other sister had her vision
Right.
about the dragon. Now, this is a part that I kind of know, so I'll ask you, why do
I
you,
have
huh?
I was gonna say I have questions, but go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, why do you think they're looking for the dragon in secret?
Um I don't have a theory, but I do have a question.
Okay.
I have two questions. One is what does it mean when an Aes Sedai is stilled? Because they
I think
mentioned
that's the
that.
same as being gentle.
Is that being gentled for a woman?
I think
Okay.
so.
And then the second question it was a many-headed dragon. What's that about? I'm giving me the dragon's got three heads
Three
and shit
heads.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not what we're expecting. Maybe um I mean, obviously they're going to try to save thing. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have to think about it a little bit more. Um, but I am curious. Like you guys know something and you haven't shared it with everyone else. So how does this information benefit you? Um, because you guys are being very blue ajay about it.
Mm-hmm.
And what purpose does that serve? Does that mean that I don't I
Right.
got nothing.
Why isn't the entire tower looking for this dragon if it could mean saving the world, right?
Yeah. If unless it doesn't mean saving the world.
I know the answer, but I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay. Don't you say anything either in the comments.
Yes, no spoilers, please.
No spoilers, please. Yeah, I thought that
She
was
also
very
talks
interesting.
about prophecies, how they've been
Mm-hmm.
it's 3,000-year-old prophecy, been translated so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I love prophecies in
Yeah.
fantasy,
Yeah.
especially when they're mistranslated.
Mm-hmm.
It can have all kinds of meaning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could actually. I would like to. I guess I'm afraid to Google things because I would like to know like verbatim what the prophecy was, and maybe I don't know if we're going to get to see more of that. Is that something that she's going to reveal to them?
Well, we did come across the Book of Prophecy. Somebody pointed out that that's what that book was.
Oh, the Carathian cycle.
Yeah. It's the book
Ah,
of prophecies. So we'll possibly get more into it. We have what, 2 episodes left. So if not this season, then next season we'll probably do
yeah.
more prophecy stuff.
Oh, goodness gracious. I can't believe there's only two left.
I know. That means that Christmas is in 2 weeks.
I already bought my Secret Santa stuff. We're good. Oh man. And then what's her name? The Amaryl Seat lady.
Yes,
Um,
seeing the
yeah,
dark one in her
yeah,
dreams.
she's seeing the dark one in her dreams. And she's seeing a dark one in the eye at the eye of the world. And he's right now he's weak enough to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to like get a move on and make that happen. Um, but in my mind,
So
I was like, that sounds like a great plan, but that shit never works out in
never, it
fantasy.
never works out. So he and his Forsaken are trapped at the eye of the world, wherever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, it's only 2 episodes. It's like, what are we gonna see? Like, are we gonna see them make it to the eye of the world? I do think so. I'm like skipping ahead, but
That's okay.
we know that they're traveling the ways. I feel like that'll probably take up a good portion of next episode.
Mm-hmm. What it's like within
What they
that
see in the
passageway. Yeah.
yeah. But going back to the Amerlin and Moraine, I just want to say one thing that's small, but
Uh-huh.
it was so sexy when she told her on your knees.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I was gonna say it too if you had it.
I
I
was
was
like,
like, ooh,
I was like panting like
ah.
a hound dog. I was like, oh,
But you know what? I'm glad that you said panting because I wrote in my notes that when they're waiting for her to come into to actually come to the seat, that you see Maureen and she's like breathing really quickly and her it's like it's very fast. And I was like, oh
mm.
my God, is she nervous? And then you see that again. I wrote like COVID breaths or something because I'm having trouble breathing because of it. And I was just like, oh no, this is anticipation. She was about to see her boo thing and she was like ready for it. So yeah, on your knees,
And they
she
haven't
said.
seen each other in 2 years and probably haven't been in contact
Mm-hmm.
because they have to keep this relationship so secret.
Yeah. But you know what? I had a question about that because it wasn't until like when I saw her sitting on the Emerald seat and I saw the tattoos and I was like, oh, they have the same tattoos. Oh shit. I didn't at first I didn't make the connection that she was a little girl. But then when Moraine asked her about this, she's like, oh, these are new.
The ones
Oh,
on
those
her
are
arm.
the ones on her arm. I wasn't sure what she was pointing to. And I was like,
Yeah, the ones on her
wait.
arm were new.
Okay.
The father in the opening scene, the father calls her by the name Suen Sanchez so that you know that it
Got
is
it.
her.
Oh shit. I missed that completely.
Yeah, and
When I caught on to it when she was like rating her all of her honorifics,
yeah,
daughter of the river, strong as the tides, etc., etc.
yeah, like smart as a pike or something, clever as a
Clever
pike.
as a pike. Yeah,
Yeah, all those were what her father said about her. That hit me in the feels
yeah.
because they're basically breaking up again. That was really
Mm.
another.
That scene, I was like, don't make me cry again.
I know.
Oh, it's just like in the like all those little subtle acknowledgments of each other, like the fingers touching,
Yes, she
and
touched very. I wrote that down that she liked that tiny finger touch.
yeah.
And we skipped so far ahead, but she also, when she tells her to swear fealty to the Amerlin Sweet seat, Maureen
Mm,
swears fealty to Suen Sanche, not the
yeah,
Amerlin seat. And that got
yeah.
my wheels turning because I thought to myself, okay, what if someone stages a coup for the Amerlin seat? Or
Mm-hmm.
what if Suen Sanche dies?
Yeah. She was basically reusing the rules, right? She can tell the truth.
Right.
She cannot tell a lie, and she twisted the words to make sure
Right.
that she wasn't going to be bound by that in the way
So
that
she's
everyone's
not bound to the
expecting.
seat, she's bound
Yeah,
to the woman.
to the woman,
So
which I
say
thought was funny that because she told Naeem she's like she only waits for one woman, and it's not you.
exactly. She, she's naive. Yes. But then that leaves me in fear for Suan Sanche's safety.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like
Um,
yeah, it's definitely like I feel like somebody is going to find out, you know, it's just discover that they are lovers. Speaking of
Secret
discovering lover,
lovers. That's what we are.
secret
I just want to say that I
love.
love that song.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of
Yeah,
secret lovers, though,
Leandrin has a man.
I was like, "Gotcha, bitch." That's exactly what my notes say.
I wrote this bitch Leandrin.
Mm-hmm. She's
But
like,
she has a
she's
whole
like, he's like,
boyfriend.
here you are thinking that you know all my secrets and that you're one step ahead of me. But guess what? I know your secrets too. Did you not forget? This is what I do.
So, tinfoil hat in place.
Bing, bing,
What if this
bing.
man that Leandrin goes to see is not a boyfriend, but something else? And Moiraine has read it wrong.
Like a dark friend?
Mm-hmm.
You think that Leandra might be a dark friend?
You never know. Do 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 do.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. She is really ambitious. She does like killing people. Yeah, I feel like that would be a fun twist. But the
But
way yeah, interest that, and well, okay, I'll take that theory. Interesting.
or just, he could be anyone helping her. It might, what if it's not a boyfriend? I don't know. It just seemed one, out of place for Leandrin to have a boyfriend. It seemed very
Yeah,
shocking. And
yeah,
two, it shut her down a little too quickly.
yeah. Yeah. Because like, and my first read on that was that, oh, yeah, she doesn't want other people to know her business and for that secret to get out. Maybe she really loves this person and wants to protect them, and she goes off thinking about, oh my god, now somebody knows, because if she knows, how, I mean, like, is this information exclusive to Moraine? Because how did she find it out? Is Moraine personally spying on me? Because she's been gone for 2 years. So how many
Right.
other people know this? That's how I interpreted her reaction. But it's very possible that it's more along the lines of what you're saying.
I just thought, yeah, I wrote in all caps, Leandrin has a boyfriend. But yeah, what if it's a man she's meeting for other nefarious reasons?
Right. That would be fun. Plot
She,
wise. Let's see. What else do I
um,
have on my notes?
Egwene and Nynaeve are reunited. When she sees Loyal, she says "Glory to the Builders," and that reminded me that
Mm.
someone out in the comments reminded me that the Ogier were builders and built a lot of these old structures, and
Oh,
I think in a way that like is not like how humans build, so it's fantasy stuff.
yeah. Right, right.
When she sees him, uh she says glory to the builders, and she's like very reverent towards him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so I guess that is why, because remember we had asked, why does he
Right.
have
Why do they have
access?
access? Right, right,
Yeah,
right, right,
yeah.
right.
And so somebody pointed out that
Okay.
they built these places, and so there's like a special relationship with the Ogier and the Aes Sedai.
Mm-hmm. Should have been like thinking of how Maker the Cruel killed everybody. Ah, yeah, those secrets are too precious to let get out. Yeah. Yeah, so they have a personal audience with the most powerful woman in the fucking world.
And then Eve is rude and embarrassing as usual.
Rude. Oh my God.
Like, stop being a yokel and act proper for once in your life.
Like, at least pretend. At least
Yeah, like
pretend.
I just felt she's just so unnecessary.
Who
Even
do
if you're
you think you are?
suspicious,
Like, yeah, you saved a bunch of lives and they brought you here, but you still ain't shit.
and
Maybe
it's
you're the
like,
dragon, but
I
maybe
think,
not.
what I think that when Nynaeve is afraid,
Mm-hmm.
she's feels also afraid to show any vulnerability, so she
Yeah.
resorts to being rude and snarky.
Yeah. I mean, I think that her lesson is that from the previous wisdom is that when she, humbled herself and traveled all that way, that she was rejected. And so, in order to protect herself from this similar fate, she refuses.
And then, she also has a chip on her shoulder from being such a young wisdom and people not taking her seriously and calling her
Mm-hmm.
girl and all of
Yeah.
that. So she has a lot of grudges.
Yeah.
But
That's understandable.
it's understandable. But
Learn how to play the
these people
game.
haven't done anything to you. They've done nothing but try to save your life.
I fed you, gave you a place to wash your ass. Like, come on.
but not once have they done anything to try to hurt her or her friends.
Mm-hmm.
Moraine was risking her own life to save them.
Yeah.
And it's like she can't even have the courtesy to bow before someone who should be revered like a queen.
Yeah.
And then, and she's like, when you're done blowing smoke up our ass, I'm like, oh my God, can you give it a break?
Yeah, for real. But I thought it was really cute how Egwene thought they were talking about her.
Yeah, she looked so proud. And they were
She was
like,
like,
the
la la la, it's
strongest channeler in a
me.
1,000 years. And she like, yes, she's like straightens her back a little bit and looks proud and then realizes they're not talking about her. It's like, girl, you are
Yeah.
not the strongest. Don't you remember? Your
You
little
couldn't even do,
fireball. You were like,
you
pew, pew,
know.
pew.
Ah, I love that moment. It's moments like those that make the characters very, very real to
Mm-hmm.
me. Very
Mm-hmm.
well acted.
And when Moraine bows to the Amerlin seat, Egwene bows and then looks at Nynaeve, who doesn't bow, and she looks so like this little girl almost. Like she does the bow and
Yeah.
then looks and it's like, oh shit, Nynaeve didn't bow, and she's like kind of shuffling on her feet a little bit.
Yeah. I think she's confused as to why she wouldn't, show the proper respect.
Right. And the other thing with Nynaeve, it's like you want people to show you respect or you don't show anybody respect.
Exactly. That shit is reciprocal.
And again, her and her pride almost got Matt killed because she could have alerted um Moiraine much earlier because
Mm-hmm.
nothing she was going to do was going to separate him from the knife. He
Yeah,
was going to
no.
keep getting sick. And it's like, you've had a fever for a month, bro. How are you even
Ex-
alive right now?
yeah. And poor Rand, he's like, oh, it's just a fever. Like, it's a fever that lasted a month. That's not just a fever.
Right.
Seek help. Go, go. Yeah.
So the gang is traveling through the ways. I do
Oh,
remember.
wait, you know what? Real quick, I just want to go back and just talk about how Suan checks Nynaeve. She's like goes her basically puts her in her place, but she's like, whatever the fuck you want doesn't matter. This is
Mhm.
bigger than you, and this is bigger than your pride. This is about the fate of the world. So get with the program. This is what's going to happen. I didn't want to be this. I didn't want this. You don't want that. Guess what? It doesn't matter. We are here, and now we have to take action.
The wheel weaves as the wheel wills.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows a lot that as rude as Nynaeve was, the Amerlin seat never stoops to her level
Yeah. and
because
and, and the and the
she
thing,
could have used the power and tied her ass up
yeah,
to
and
be
she
like,
could have. And
shut
the
up and
thing,
listen to me.
yeah, totally, right. But the thing about it is that, like, obviously everybody's got their own stuff going on, but she doesn't understand like the pain that Moraine and so on are going through, knowing that they're going to be separated from their loved one in
And
service
it's to
of the
protect you,
exactly,
you
all
and
in
your
service of the
friends.
wheel. Yeah.
Yes, in service of the will, but like to protect you at the end of the day, it's to protect you guys and keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's because one of you might be the dragon, but the end goal is still the same, to keep you
Yeah.
alive, whatever their reasons might be. They're not out to hurt you.
No.
I mean, I will say Suan did seem pretty okay with 4 of them dying for the one.
Yeah. Yeah. She was like, what's three extra?
Right. But
uh,
what's the alternative?
yeah.
I
Hard
just
questions.
I just want Nynaeve to do better and stop being such a
Well,
jerk.
hopefully she will.
What I was about
Yeah.
to say was that I remember them traveling. I vaguely remember them traveling through the ways in the books, and I remember it getting kind of scary. So I'm hoping that
Mm-hmm.
we see. Well, I'm pretty sure they'll show us next episode what it's like being in there. There's no way they would like give us just that little piece, and then next episode they're stepping out of it. But there were things about the ways that I remember that were exciting and scary and cool, and I hope that we get to see it next week.
Yeah, me too.
I thought we
Me
would see
too.
more action this week since last week had so much drama, but last week did also have some action, so
Yeah.
it wasn't all drama.
But this was fun for me because you get like all the court politics. Like I have
Mm-hmm.
one of my notes is like politicking. It was really cool to see the intrigue and the inner workings of the court and to kind of understand like the political threats at hand, um, because it kind of highlights everyone's motivations a little bit. Um, and that's something I was really interested in learning more about.
Yeah. I would like to see. I don't know if we're going to be back in the tower now that Moiraine's gone because she's really our eyes in the tower.
Yeah, but you know, somebody got cold feet.
And we have, yes. What the fuck is Matt's plan?
I mean, he let them know. He was like, what if we changed our mind?
Right.
He's
Like, I
had
know he
enough
wants
of
to go
it.
home.
Yeah.
I
But
wonder
it's
what they
so,
did with the knife, the dagger.
does he, you think it's like being called, he's being called back to it? Because I was like, is he going to go back
Possibly.
and look for it? Like, is that
Possibly
what that
because
means?
she said she broke his bond to the dagger.
But if he ever finds it
But
again,
if he
she like,
touches it again, yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah. If
so
he
I
touch,
wonder if the bond is fully broken or,
Mhm.
are there remnants where
Yeah.
like it calls to you?
It like, yeah, it's given me precious, but it's all, it makes me wonder. I'm like, well, what happens now? Does he go back? Does he go back and like ruin all their plans and let people know that that's where they've gone because he doesn't know what else to do? Does he become like on Leandrin's side,
Does he
and
run
like
into
join
more
forces
dark
with her?
friends?
Does he run into more Jack? Like, who knows? Like, I am very excited to see because I thought that he was going to hesitate and then go through with them. And then he was like, nah, bro. He's like, I've had enough of this magic shit. I'm gonna stay
Yeah.
right here.
And I mean, we know he wants to go home to his sisters.
But it's so dumb. He can't go home to his sisters because he's gonna draw the Trollocs to him. Well,
Right.
maybe. Well, yeah. But
Well, yeah,
oh,
because
but I wrote down: is he gonna run into Tom? Is he
I
gonna
thought
find
we would, I
Tom?
was hoping we'd get a glimpse of Tom this week because obviously, oh, also, speaking of people who I don't think are dead,
Mhm.
um, I rewatched last week's episode today,
Mhm.
and Valda was not dead when they left.
No, that wasn't a kill shot.
He like was kind of like writhing a little bit when they were running
Yeah,
out.
and she was too confident in her delivery of saying like,
Uh-huh.
oh, we didn't talk about the
Oh
the
yes, she
returning of the
returned the
rings.
rings.
She returned
Yeah.
the rings, but she was like, he'll never bother you again. And we all know final statements like that are never fucking true. So look out, Valda. I'm ready for your return.
Yeah, he's just too deliciously evil to not get more.
Hmm.
And we have to see more of the tower, or Leandrin has to hit the road because
Yeah.
we haven't seen the last of Leandrin.
Oh no, absolutely not. I mean, maybe she's going to check on. I mean, it's like the last thing that you do if somebody mentions your people are in trouble. The last thing you're supposed to do is go check on them because then you're going to be followed. Because if I didn't know where your people were, now I know where your people are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to follow you. Um, but maybe she runs out to check on them. Maybe she falls in line with Matt because she knows she does mention his name, right? When they're talking.
Yes, she says her full name. She's like,
Yeah.
Matt Codlin, isn't? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, so she knows about him.
So she knows about him. And her little birds are doing their work.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wonder. I don't. So it makes me wonder. Like, does he fall with him? Does he meet up with Tom? Does he fall in with the white cloaks and Valda? And like, is he going to be able to stand that? Does he decide that all of this is for the fucking birds and he wants to like become a white cloak himself? Like that would be crazy because he's seen what the power and what does in women, and they've taken these things from him and da 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 da.
I couldn't see him being a white cloak. He doesn't strike me as very religious.
Maybe, maybe not.
I think he's gonna go back and do Matt stuff, steal and gamble and try to get money so he can go home.
Well,
And
if
then
he
of
does that,
course
then he's definitely going to run into Tom.
he's yeah, because
Because he's gonna right because he's gonna do those in all those places where a
right.
where a gleeman would be.
I want to see Tom again so bad.
Me too. Yeah, Dad.
One thing in this episode that broke my heart a little bit was when Maureen gets exiled. You
Mm-hmm.
see how much it hurts the Amerlin seat. You see the tears in her eyes, and that
Yeah,
she's not looking at her. She's looking
yeah.
straight up and away. And Moiraine is crying, and then she turns around, and her sisters all stand and turn their backs.
Oh, yeah.
that was so sad, especially the ones who you could see that it pained them to have to do it.
Yeah. There's that moment in the moment where she's in her room and she's kind of like looking out upon the view and like the water and stuff. I was like, well, just because she wasn't here for 2 years doesn't mean that she doesn't love this place.
Right.
I wrote that she was like saying goodbye to her home, and making her like whatever peace she can make with it. But like we said before, is like she knows that there is a much larger cause at hand, and she's all in. She's ready to pursue it.
Everything. Because even her friend Alana, who's obviously her friend and she loves her, she can't even tell her.
Yeah. She could, and what's her name? What do we say? Megan. Yeah, she couldn't tell her either, and she comes across as like the leader of the order
of the blues. Yeah. Right. If she's giving her orders, she's definitely like one of the leaders of that Aja.
Oh man, what an episode!
Yeah, I don't have any complaints.
Me neither.
I've
just got tons of questions.
Yeah, and I love them because I didn't watch any previews. I don't even know if they show previews for the next episode, but we don't watch them anyway. If you know us, we don't watch previews. Nope. We like to go in blind. So like things I'm hoping to see next week is the journey through the ways. I'm hoping to see some more of Tom. Like, I hope he comes back. I'd like confirmation that Valda's alive.
Yep. I'd love to see Leandrin and whatever the fuck she's getting up to.
Yeah.
And whoever's going to be stepping up to thwart her.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, I want to see more of the White Tower in that city. Do you know what the next episode is called?
I do.
Oh, I found it. The Dark Along the Ways.
Oh, well, there it is. Leaves nothing to the imagination, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, then. So I said I wanted to see more of, their travel through the ways. So I guess we are definitely going to see that next week if the episode is called The Dark Along the Ways.
Right.
Hey, maybe Matt will catch one of those horses that ran away. Poor guy, back on foot. Gotta get some new boots.
Well, he was in bed for a while, so maybe he needs the exercise.
Is there anything else you wanna talk about for this week or next week?
No, I have nothing really. I think we've covered everything that was really in my notes. I am very curious about the many-headed dragon and what it would mean that that the powers have been split. Is that to ensure that no person has too much power and that the people have to be cooperative in fixing the world? I don't know. It seems to me that if one person with all that power broke the world because they were corrupted by it, that it would make sense to divide it. Maybe not 4 ways, but maybe 2, maybe 3.
Maybe 1 man, 1 woman.
Yeah.
But what does it mean to and divide a soul like that?
Right.
Is
and then
like
restore.
Voldemort with his,
I was just about to say Horcruxes.
Yeah, like is it like Voldemort with his Horcruxes, or like you're kind of in hell?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, we've been 1,000 Eyes on One. For past episodes, you can find all our links at thousandeyespodcast.com. Follow us on the socials, Twitter, 1,000 Eyes One, Facebook and Instagram, 1,000 Eyes and One. Join us for more episodes about the Wheel of Time. You can look at past episodes about Game of Thrones and our book club, Wine on an Empty Stomach, as well as Game of Thrones trivia that we do every other month. This month, it falls on December 12th at 3 p.m. Eastern. You can email trivia@thousandeyespodcast.com if you want the Zoom link to join us.
It's going to be lots of fun. This month's theme is winter.
And that's if you're listening to this on Friday.
Otherwise, too late.
Oops.
Too late. Thanks for listening.